Yo, what's up, everybody? So, this is my third video that I've done this week, or this weekend, I should say. I'm getting into the playoffs. That's pretty much a foregone conclusion now. I came back from the last playoff loss. I'm not going to get into that again. You guys can go back and watch the last two videos. You'll know what I'm talking about. I'm going to move on from it. It's done and over with, whatever. I'm trying really hard to get my coins up because I'm trying to... When he comes out, if I ever find him on the block, I'll be able to get Burris like immediately. That's pretty much my goal right now. So in the meantime, I'm just biding my time, getting the coins I need. There's a couple of guys that I wouldn't... See, I'm trying to be objective for the game, but at the same time, like, my Giants fandom is like getting in the way because the Giants have been getting a lot of love the past couple weeks. Antrell Roll just came out. I have him. Plaxico Burris just came out. I will have him. And then I just came out with a flashback Osi Umenyiora. Now, here's my problem. Do I make the team all Giants for the most part and sacrifice my overall a little bit, or do I just keep the team the way I have it, except for maybe one or two players here and there? That's what I'm running into my problem. Now, the reason I say that is because on one side I got 99 overall Pierre-Paul. On the other side, I got 99 overall Mario Williams. So do I remove Williams and put Jason Pierre-Paul, Osi Umenyiora in? Look at this catch. Do I put Osi Umenyiora in and have the Giants line? I don't know. I just don't know what to do as far as that. I like to stay true to my team. I like to stay true to the Giants. Most of the players that I have are Giants players. I have Antrell Roll, Pierre-Paul, Jonathan Hankins, Lawrence Taylor, Larry Donnell, Shane Vereen, Andre Williams, Victor Cruz, Plaxico Burris, Odell Beckham, Eli Manning. I have Justin Tuck as a backup. I do have the other Osi Umenyiora as a backup, but I just don't know what to do as far as that. He's probably really good. Man, I should have picked there. I don't know what I just flubbed because I was right there. This guy's moving the ball pretty good, though. One thing I will never do, though, in Madden, in any way, shape, or form, I don't care who they are. I will never, ever, and this is where my Giants fandom will not take a back seat. I will never, ever, ever use a Cowboy, Redskin, or Eagle, especially an Eagle. I fucking hate the Eagles more than you guys could ever know, for personal reasons. Now, for the new viewers, let me get into that, actually. For the new viewers, let me explain something to you. Alright, the fucking Eagles fans, they are by far the worst trash bag fan base in the fucking history of the league. I went to a game one time. It was the first ever football game that I've ever went to in my entire life. It was back in 1998. Okay? It was in Philadelphia, in Veterans Stadium. And I was wearing a Jason Sehorn jersey. Now, I don't know if you guys know who that is. He was a quarterback for the Giants. He was actually a really good player for them at one time. And then he got a really bad knee injury and his career was never the same. He came back and played a couple more years, but he was nothing what he was. Let's put it that way. So I go to the game. It's in Philly. I'm wearing a Sehorn jersey. These fucking animals. These savage animals. I sit down and they're throwing shit at me, fucking laughing, cursing, the whole bit. So I get up and I go tell a cop, not a security guard, okay? Not a little $8 an hour fucking ham and egger. I'm talking about an actual security guard, a guy, an actual cop with a gun, a badge, the whole fucking bit. And of course, Philly is so cool, and they're so edgy and so rough and tough that they actually have a fucking fully functional jail cell underneath their stadium. That's how much of a bunch of savage assholes they are. So, I go over and tell the cop. The cop goes, "Oh, you can't tell me. So you got to point them out to these guys," talking about the little ham and egger fucking security guard. So I went back to my seat. Alright, now it's getting late in the day. It was a 4 o'clock game. They usually don't end until 7. It was in December. So it was getting cold. The game was about halfway over, 3/4 over, whatever it was. So I put my jacket back on. The whole fucking section cheered like they just won the Super Bowl. Okay, as soon as I put my jacket on, you just hear this big, "Yay!" Everyone cheered. Alright? Because they won. They were cool. They beat me. I covered up they got me to cover up my colors. Oh, can't wear that colors here, you fucking gang faggots. So, this big cheer. Whoa! Yeah, they're all happy with themselves. Beating their fucking dicks all over their cheese. That's what their special sauce is in their fucking cheesesteaks. Must be their fucking beat off. So, they allowed this big cheer. Yay! So I turn around and I give them the finger. Yay! Right back to him. The cop that I told, the one who couldn't do nothing for me, came over and kicked me out of the fucking game. You believe that shit? So, I had to leave the fucking stadium, or I'm sorry, leave my seat, had to find another seat somewhere in that motherfucker. It worked out good in the end because I wound up sitting down by the Giants sideline, and the Giants won the game anyway because the Eagles were trash at that time. They're still trash now, but the Giants wound up winning that game anyway, so it worked out good. But the point being is that you go to a game to have fun, and you get fucking harassed and ganged up on and shit thrown on you and cursed at and all that. And they're going to sit there and say that they're smart fans, they're cool, they're edgy, they're knowledgeable. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. This is the same fan base, the same faggot fan base that fucking booed Donovan McNabb out of the building on draft day, and they wanted Ricky Williams' pot-smoking fucking douchebag body. If you guys don't remember all that, or maybe you do, back then Ricky Williams was coming out of the draft, and he was supposed to be like this can't-miss prospect, okay? And the Eagles fans wanted him so bad. They wanted him so bad. Mike Ditka was the coach of the Saints, and he literally mortgaged his entire draft that year to draft Ricky Williams, okay? So now the Eagles wound up drafting McNabb, and they booed him out of the building. Booed him out of the building. Meanwhile, the guy played hurt every year. Took him to 4 straight NFC Championship games. Took him to a Super Bowl. Granted, he didn't win, but took him to a Super Bowl. Alright? And they fucking, they blew him out of the building. Then, they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to get him out of town. They ran him out of town, and they get the dog killer. Because we're Philly, we're edgy. We could take the dog killer to our stadium, because we're cool. We don't care about that. So they run McNabb out of town. They get the dog killer, and now it's going to be the dream team because it's fucking the dog killer and Vince Young. Well, how'd that turn out? Oh, that's right. I know how it turned out. The Giants won the Super Bowl that year. But again, because we're Philly fans, we're cool, we're edgy. So now I'm in Atlantic City one day, right? And I meet this guy. He lives in Philly. He's a Giants fan. Alright? He just happens to live in Philly. These fucking savage animals, they surrounded this guy in a circle. They surrounded him, and they were threatening to beat him up if he didn't take off his Giants hat. It's an old man. Okay? The guy had to be like in his mid-60s, wearing a Giants hat. They surrounded him in a circle and threatened to beat him up if he didn't take off his Giants hat. Get the fuck out of here. You're going to be that serious, okay, and threaten people. Well, I shouldn't even say that because look what's going on in Baltimore. Okay, I know it hasn't been talked about in a while, but again, riots and all that shit, which I never understood. You're rioting and destroying your own town. It's your own town. But, let's just destroy it. We live here, so let's destroy it. If you're going to do that, why don't you just go burn down your own house? So that's basically my story on why I hate the Eagles and their fan base. They're just a bunch of trash bags. And that's why, like I said, I will especially never use an Eagles player. Wins in a video game are not that important to me. We're not going to salvage my fucking fandom for a win in Madden. I mean, they went so far. There was a guy who went to a Mets-Phillies game. Okay? Mets-Phillies. Not Giants-Eagles. Mets-Phillies. He was in Philly. He's wearing a Giants hat. They broke his leg in front of his son. Real class. Oh, let me just break his leg in front of his son because, oh, how dare you wear a Giants hat? Get the fuck out of here. So, that's basically my story on why I hate the Eagles. Now back to this game here. This guy, he just keeps throwing these little tiny routes. That's why his completion percentage is so high. I should have had a pick, but of course we don't get picks when we need them. And on top of that, he's just bitching the clock down the whole way. Just little tiny routes. Take your time out. He'll throw another little tiny route. Take his time out, and then a little tiny route into the end zone. I'm fine with this, but it is kind of a cheese way to play. Like, I'll do it if I have to, take what the defense gives me. But to do it on every single play, okay, I take back what I said. I thought he was going to bitch himself, through a touchdown. Now, if I can get Gronkowski open on the right-hand side, this should be a touchdown. At the very worst, I have 2 shots at it. Let's see. Come on, Gronkowski. Catch this ball. Overthrew it. I overthrew it by a mile. That sucks. Whatever. That would have been great, though. That would have been real great because I would have got a minimum of field goal, and it kind of put this game out of reach a little bit. Field goals before halftime, when you're getting the ball back to start the half, are huge. They really are. Because it just gives you that nice little cushion. You could pretty much call what you want. You could do what you want. It's not bad. Now, I said this in my last video. Look at Eli stiff-arming a guy. I've been trying to incorporate this a little bit more into my offense, just more or less as a fuck-around play. But it's actually worked out better than I thought it would. Now, I'm not going to do it, excessively like everyone else does. Once in a while, we're all popping in there. The last game I did that with, he had 2 carries. Eli Manning, the statue. He's like that fucking Rocky Balboa statue in Philly that we were just talking about. Eli Manning, the statue. Last game I played, 2 carries for 130 yards. And 2 touchdowns. So, like I said, I do it more as a fuck around play now. Because after a while, there's only so much you could do with this game before you have to just try new shit just to have fun. It is cheese, but I guess at this point, everybody's entitled to a little cheese in their life. God knows I've suffered enough cheese through this game, so I'm giving some back. Look at Plaxico Burress. Now the sad thing is, and I hope they do it just to do it, as a flashback or something, but I don't think Burress is going to be in the next game. I never really thought much of Burress, even when he was on the Giants, to be honest with you. I mean, he's definitely the reason, or one of the reasons, why they won a Super Bowl. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not. But everyone makes a big deal about him catching the game-winning catch in the Super Bowl, which is all well and good. Great accomplishment. Where's Eli throwing the ball to? I have no idea. Yeah, he caught the game-winning catch in the Super Bowl. Great. Good for you. Great accomplishment and all that. But if you look at that whole playoffs that year, Amani Toomer was actually the big reason why they even got to a Super Bowl that year. When the playoffs came, the first game they played Tampa Bay, Burrs had 2 catches, I think, for 20 yards. Toomer had 7 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. The next game against Dallas, I don't even think Burrs had a catch in that game, or he might have had 1. I don't remember. Toomer had 4 catches, 60 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including 1 right at the end of halftime to tie the game 14-14. Third game, now Burrs comes to play. The NFC Championship game against Green Bay. Burrs completely demolished Al Harris in that game. Alright, so okay, he contributed. But in that game, Toomer also had a massive diving catch down the sideline that led to a touchdown. Alright, now, Super Bowl comes. Burrs, for the game, had 2 catches, 21 yards. Toomer was the leading receiver, 6 catches, 86 yards, including on the last drive, 2 catches for 19 yards. One of them was a first down on third down. The second one was 9 yards on third down, and then they went for it on fourth down with Jacobs and got it. So, like I said, I never really thought much of Burrs one way or the other. I mean, I'm glad to have him. I was fine not having it, whatever. Where it really started to turn for me on Burrs was the following year. Nobody was touching the Giants that year. They were destroying everybody. They were 9-1, and Burrs shoots himself in the leg. Then they basically limped to the playoffs. They lost the last 3 out of 4 games. Barely got home field. So they finished 12-4. Their offense was non-existent after that. They played the Panthers the last game of the year to clinch home field. Whichever team won was going to get home field, either Carolina or the Giants. And the Giants, fortunately, at that time they had Jacobs and Derek Ward, and both guys rushed for over 100 yards each in that game, and they were able to get home field. But it didn't matter. The following week, they play Philly at home, and they lost the game 22-11. You want to talk about a weird score? They lost the game 22-11, and then that was it. So Burrs cost them, in my opinion, a Super Bowl, because the way they were playing before he shot himself, nobody was touching them. Nobody. And they suffered on both sides of the ball because of that, because when that happened, Antonio Pierce, Giants linebacker at the time, he was there, and I think he covered some stuff up. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know he covered some stuff up, and so they were questioning him about it too. And so he wasn't thinking clearly, when that was going on. It was just a crazy year. So Burrs cost them back-to-back Super Bowls, and then his career was never the same after that either. He went to jail for 2 years, came back, went to the Jets. He had an okay year. I think he had 6 or 7 touchdowns for the Jets, but then he went back to the Steelers, and they did nothing, and then that was it. You haven't heard from him since. He's not officially retired. There's been no announcement as far as that, but I mean, he basically fell off the face of the earth. So, anyway, the whole point of why I was even bringing that up is because when I look back on it, especially now, and I see what he is in this game. I know it's only a game, but I kind of miss Burrs because Eli could just pretty much chuck the ball up to him wherever he wanted to, and Burrs would go get it. Now he's starting to get a little bit of that back with Beckham, but Beckham's nowhere near as tall, so those jump ball situations are going to be rough. But you know what? We'll see what Beckham can do. I wouldn't mind having Burris again, though. Now I want to get the new Burris. It's just fun to play with him. The Burris that I have is not no slouch. Now I know what this guy's trying to do. This guy's trying to dick out the clock. He's going to score, go for 2, and try to get a cheese win. I already know that's coming. I had a guy that did that to me earlier today. He pitched out the clock as far as he could, and then went for 2, and he got it. So he was up 22-21. Thought he had the game sealed, but I went down and I kicked the field goal and beat him. Yeah, see? He probably could have scored on that. But he's dicking out the clock, which is stupid because he ran out of bounds. Excuse me. I apologize. Now it's 4th down. He's got now let's see what he's going to do. Why are you going to do that though? Why are you going to dig out the clock and go for a cheese win? A 2-point conversion bullshit. Now he takes his timeout. Honestly, I literally don't see any way, shape, or form that I can lose this game right now. I really don't. Oh, McCoy just dives down. Did I stop him? Oh, yeah! You talk about defense. See? You guys heard me say this before a million times, too. This is... When you run all these dick routes underneath, and these small little drags and all that stuff, that just shows me that you're not built to score fast, okay? And then when you have to put the ball up and put it into the end zone, that should have been a touchdown, man. That was close. That was close. This guy's fucked, though. Like I said, I literally... Even if he would have scored, there was no way... I could see no way that I was going to lose this game. But what I'm saying is, when your whole offense is dink and dunk, throw the ball down to, little drag routes, little curls, stuff like that. When that's your offense, and then you have to throw the ball down the field, you're not built to do it. You're not going to win. See, I don't mind when guys cheese out the clock like that when they're throwing all those little routes because I know at the end of the day they're just not built to win. They're not built to score fast, I should say. Now, let's say for argument's sake, all right, I fumbled the ball here. All right, I think I would stop this guy because he hasn't shown me the ability to go down the field yet. And until look at that spin move. Outrun that. You got to outrun that. There you go, Peyton. That was a sick spin move. That was a sick spin move. But the guy hasn't shown me the ability to go down the field. So now we're going to prove that right now because he's going to get the ball back and he's going to have to try to throw the ball down the field. I guarantee you. I will almost 100% guarantee you that I will pick him off. Now let's see. Because he's going to go down the field. If he completes, he's going to go hurry up. Because he's going to have to try to score fast and get an onside. So I would almost, like I said, almost 100% guaranteed that I will get a pick. He's going to go play action. Okay, maybe not. Maybe he just knows the game's over. That's a really strange play call. Then again, maybe, you know what? Maybe he just doesn't know how to throw the... Look at this. Look at Lawrence Taylor. You know what's funny? Look at Lawrence Taylor. This is my house, son. Son, you all got to do better than that. Now, I got to tell you something behind the scenes here. Alright? Now you guys know, me and my son both play this game. Okay? My son been bitching all weekend that Lawrence Taylor never gets picks. He's always dropping interceptions and all that stuff, which he does do. I'm not gonna lie, but you're not gonna get every interception. But now, the last 3 games that we've played, Lawrence Taylor's got an interception in every one of them. And now this one, he just sealed it out with a touchdown in his house. This is LT's house. I love the behind the scenes when that stuff goes on. If you guys, I wish sometimes you could hear the conversations that me and him have, because I always tell him, I'm like, all right, we got to talk strategy. He's like, Dad, enough with the strategy. Let's just play. I don't want to talk strategy. But with all that being said, I told you guys, the guy had to try and score quick, and he couldn't do it, and I was going to get a pick. And that's pretty much what I knew. I play this game enough to know that when you're dicking your way down the field, when a time comes where you have to move the ball, you can't do it. So, alright, you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.